Welcome everyone to the 2023 season. This is my what's in the bag along with the stock yardages for each of my clubs, the carry and the total distance. I'm at the wonderful indoor golf sim called Pace of Play in Mississauga, Ontario, and let's get right into it. So we'll start with the wedges. My first wedge here is a 58 degree from Vokey, the SM9. It is a 10 bounce with the S grind, and I just got these in the middle of last season, so I'm really liking them. I'm learning the bounces and the grind, so I'm actually getting very comfortable with them, just the velvet tour grip. And let's get into the 54 degree. All right, so the 54 degree, same thing, SM9 Vokey. These are all standard shafts that come with the wedges. So this one is a 54 degree, 12 bounce and D grind. So this is the type of shot I use from, I think, about 120, and we'll get into it exactly how far these go. But the bounce on these is great. In the Toronto climate, oftentimes the grass is fairly moist. So this bounce is a perfect in-between bounce for getting under the ball, but not chunking it enough where you're gonna chunk it. So let's check out the next one. All right, so the third wedge is a 50 degree, same one, SM9 Vokey Titleist, and it is a 12 bounce with the F grind. So I actually rock 3 wedges plus my pitching wedge, so 4 wedges. And the pitching wedge I have is a 46 degree, 10 bounce F grind, and this one is actually an SM8, so I've had this for about a year and a half or so now. And I think I like the yardages in between each of my clubs. Today will be a great day to find out how far these go and the distances between each of the clubs. So I'm pretty excited to see what that will be. So let's get into the irons. All right, so now we are into the irons. So the irons I'm using this season, I got fitted for these at the beginning of last year. So I've had these for about a year now and I love them. These are the T100S, and the shafts are dynamic golds, and they are actually hard stepped ones. So what that means is there's kind of rings on the shafts, and they basically chopped off one of the end rings to make the shafts a bit stiffer, and just to match my club head speed, I guess. And the grips are the Tour Velvet as well. And I've fallen in love with these things. The feeling you get when you hit the sweet spot and even the forgiveness when you don't hit the sweet spot are pretty great. I'm excited to use them once again this season to start off the season. And I use a 9 to a 4 iron, and these are a bit stronger lofted. So there is, and we might see a discrepancy, a big gap between my pitching wedge, my 46 and my 9 iron. So I'm excited to see that. And then we go up to the 4 iron. So after the 4 iron, I got a new club in the bag midway through half season. We'll get into that right now. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I gave one of these away, and TaylorMade Canada helped give one of these away for me at the end of the year. It is a 2 iron from TaylorMade, the Stealth UDI. The shaft that I use is a Hazard Smoke, and it's a 6.5 80 gram. And this thing has been one of my favorite things off the tee. It is a bit more difficult to use these off the fairway because of the bounce, or I don't know, it's just much easier to hit these off of a tee a little bit propped up. So there might be a discrepancy between my 4 iron, this, and my 3 wood, because I can't use this off a fairway. So there might be a massive gap between the 4 iron and the 3 wood. So I'm gonna try to see exactly what that gap is, and I wonder how I can fill it in with a new club. And so let's see what else is in the bag. All right, so off to the 3 wood here. So these are just head covers from Random Golf Club. Shout out to Eric Anders Lang and Random Golf Club. They're probably one of my favorite YouTube channels when it comes to golf. And I've had these for over a year now. They held up, they're made of leather, and I love them a lot. But what's under that is my 3 wood, which I've had for quite some time. It's a Titleist 915 FD 3 wood with a Rogue 95 MSI Aldila stiff shaft. And so this thing was basically my driver for a long time before I owned this driver. And it used to be my favorite thing off the tee. I used to keep it pretty straight. I don't use it as much anymore now that I have the 2 iron and my driver, but it's still a good thing to have in the bag. And it's good for a hole where I can't quite use driver, but you know, using a 4 iron or a 2 iron might be a little too short. It's a great in-between club. And off to the driver. So once again, Random Golf Club head cover. The driver is a Cobra LTD XLS, the all-out black, the blacked out, I guess we can call it, with 9 degree loft with -1 degree. And the shaft I use is a Hazardous Smoke 6.5 70 gram, and it is like a light post. It's very stiff. And the weights I have at the bottom are just a 10 and a 3. So the 10 is at the toe and the 3 is at the heel. And so this is actually just trying to keep the face open a bit more at impact. And I've loved this driver. I mean, it looks great, it goes far. When I hit it well, it goes really straight. I am struggling at times to get it off the tee. But that is not the club's fault. That's completely mine. And it's great to have a driver in the bag this season. So before we get into the putter, just a couple other things I have here are a couple alignment sticks. If you're looking to get better at golf and you're going to go practice, I highly recommend these. These are one thing alone that actually made my swing path go from outside to in to out. You just basically put them on the range. You align them so that you have the target line and you have a swing path line, and you just follow the swing path line with your golf club. And so I highly recommend getting some alignment sticks. These ones here are from Sticks Golf. And last but not least, my putter that I got about 3/4 of the way through the 2022 season. This is a TaylorMade Spider. It is face weighted, so what that means is if you balance your putter on one finger, which way does the face sit? So this one, if it sits pretty flat, parallel to the floor, you'll get some putters that are toe weighted where the toe will actually bend downwards like this when you hold it with one finger. This one is completely just flat. And the grip I use is a Super Stroke Pistol Grip 1.0. It's just a medium-sized grip, which I like a lot. And I feel like my putts from like 6 feet range are a lot better than my old putter I used to have, which is a Scotty Cameron Fastback 1.5. It was toe weighted, and I was constantly battling to keep the club head path straight back and straight forward. As with a face balanced putter, it's a lot easier to do. So let's get into what is in the bag now. And the bag. So now we're on to what's in the actual pockets and the bag. But let's first start about which bag this is. This is from Ghost Golf. They sent it to me a couple months ago, and it's probably my favorite bag I've ever owned in my life. It's great quality, highly durable, good build, lots of pockets, velvet interior, and some cool features that I'll show you in a second. So let's start with what's on the bag. So this is actually just a tee pouch and a ball mark pouch. Just a pouch that sits outside of your bag. And I have tees and ball marks. It's just more accessible, and you can kind of keep everything else kind of segregated and away from your tees, so you're not stabbing yourself in the finger or not prepared to get stabbed. So I really like that. I've wanted one of these for a while. And then the other thing I have on my bag is a magnetic towel. So this is also from Ghost Golf. It's just a magnet towel. You can bring it to the green with you and just use your club to then pick it up. You don't have to bend over. It's actually pretty nice. So I'm excited to have this freshly new this season. And the last but not least, on the other side of this bag is just a ball marker. Comes with the bag, it just attaches to the bag. You just put your ball inside of it and you get your marker and you just mark your line, and it helps with your putting. So this is a really cool bag. I'm excited to have this season. And on to what's in the bag. So a disclaimer, I just got this bag, a month or two ago, and I kind of just transferred the stuff that was in my old bag to my new bag. So I'm actually not even sure which pockets I even put everything in. So you're gonna be finding out at the same time as me. So let's start with the first pocket here. I have a cigar holder attachment for the golf cart. You just attach this to the side of the golf cart, and then you put your cigar in here. And it's actually burnt. So I guess I kept my cigar in here for a little too long because I can't even open the part where you're supposed to attach the cigar. So that's garbage. What else is in here? I have a wrench for my Cobra driver. This is to change the loft, change the face if you want it open or closed. Always got to keep one of these in your bag for emergencies, or if you feel like tweaking your golf club on the range before your round. What else do we have in here? Bug spray. Got to have some bug spray for those Ontario crappy months where there's tons of bugs. It's really moist and damp outside. Nothing like getting eaten alive on the golf course. And I have just a random ball marker here. So that is it for pocket one. Also in this bag, we have just an outside pocket here that's magnetic. And on the outside of the bag, there's actually this little holder for a marker, which is basically what you use for this guy. So that's a nice little handy spot for that. Off to the next, we have this pocket here, which I keep my golf balls. That's one thing that I actually didn't bring today. I just got a new shipment of is the Vice Pro Plus golf balls that I've been using. They're really affordable. I have no affiliate with them at all at this point. I just really like the balls and I like the price. But I also have a bunch of TaylorMade balls in here, TP5X and some Pro Vs. And that's it for this pocket. So off to the next pocket here, which is a really cool pocket, just a magnetic pocket where I keep my rangefinder. So Great little pocket for that. Quickly accessible, put it right back, shut it up, and you know it's safe. Now just flipping it around. I actually forgot to show on the other side of the bag, but there's actually a drink holder on either side of the bag. Nice accessible spot for it. And the interior is lined with a material that keeps your water or your drink cooler. And then this pocket here, what do we have in here? Yes, golf gloves. Oh, and I also have some rain gloves as well. And there's some more stuff in there. So the golf gloves I use is from Invictus Golf. They've been a big supporter of me since day one. They've been sending me golf gloves, and I also have an affiliate code with them, so just a disclaimer, but I will say that these are 100% the best golf gloves I've ever used in my life. They last so long, and then you also have this nice mesh material in between the fingers, which keeps your hands nice and cool in the summer months, and if you're sweating a lot, these are great for that. And then the rain gloves I use are just some generic tailor-made rain gloves. Always gonna have these in the bag for the days you never know what's gonna happen. And what else I have in here is some golf grip tape. They're great for blisters on your fingers, or even if you have any on your heels, you can just tape it up, and it's kind of like a squishy material. So I always got to keep this in my bag. Last thing I have in the bag is just a little tool for the golf range. I keep this in my pocket just to scrape off my golf clubs in between shots if my club gets dirty. And that's it for the golf bag. So now we are gonna do the part I've been most excited to do, which is gonna be the yardages for every club. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 10 shots of each single club, and I'm gonna get the 7 best balls of each club. Because I already know I'm gonna have some shanks and some bad shots, and shots hit thin and chunked. So to get a good idea of when I play really good golf, 7 best shots would probably make the most sense. And then we can see where in my bag I need to fill in some gaps, and if I need to like move some clubs around if they're too close in yardage. So let's get into it. All right, so starting out with my 58 degree, we're gonna see the 7 best out of my 10 shots and get an average length, carry, and total distance.
Well, there's no problem. If you had a gun, shoot him in the head.
All right, so that is the end of what's in the bag. And here are the yardages for all my clubs. So there is a bit of a discrepancy. I logged all the numbers in my phone between my 4-iron and my 3-wood. The reason being is that my 2-iron I can't use off the fairway. So I have to find something in between my 4-iron and my 3-wood. And the other issue I see is my 46 degree and my 50. I should probably jack the 46 up to a 45 so that I can cut the distance between my 50 and my 9-iron in half. Other than that, thanks for watching. And if you haven't already, hit that like button and feel free to subscribe. I have a lot more videos coming this summer. It's gonna be one of my goals to make more content for you guys. So we'll see you guys in one of the next ones.